Because Yin Shou, this character, he's a warrior. He's a great, great hero on the battlefield. So when the clothes come off, he has to look like one. You know, he can't look like he's an accountant. Okay. Hello, I'm Kris Phillips, Fei Xiang, and I portray the Shang Dynasty King Yin Shou in the new movie Creation of the Gods, Kingdom of Storms.
天下浩劫将至，
此关并为无马，
杀伐太重，上天震怒。
It was a very big challenge filming because the director wanted to film all 3 films in one go. So the production process was much like Peter Jackson's Lord of the Rings. We had to dedicate a very long period of time, and anybody on the project had to make sure that they could do the entire thing. For me, it was a 1.5 years of filming. For the younger actors, including their training, it was 2 years. We're very, very lucky that we finished all the principal photography just before the pandemic started. If the pandemic had happened in the middle of that, I really actually think the entire project would have been sunk. It would have been derailed because there would have been no way to get the whole team back together after the pandemic and restart the whole thing. It was just so epic. It's the biggest and most expensive production in Chinese film history. We had real sets constructed in 20 different studios. My palace, there was an actual entire forest created. So it's just incredible scale of production. And then on top of that, all the CGI effects. So the film is quite impressive to watch because a lot of it was real. It's actually quite detailed work. I was training for 3 months before I even filmed my first scene. And the training encompassed all the skills that I would need to complete the role, which was horsemanship, martial arts, drumming, the kind of traditional drumming. But the training didn't stop all throughout the whole 1.5 years that I was there. One of the important elements of training was physical training, because Yin Shou, this character, he's a warrior. He's a great, great hero on the battlefield. So when the clothes come off, he has to look like one. You know, he can't look like he's an accountant. Okay, he's got to be convincing. I couldn't stop the physical regimen of training for the entire 1.5 years. It had to just keep going every day. I do like villain roles to some extent because they're more challenging in some ways. Villain roles are always rich dramatically because villains always know what they want, you know, and they're going for it. They're doing things to get it. Okay, so they're very proactive. So that's part of the appeal. And the other part of it for me is it's more challenging for me to present for the audience a role that's far from the image they have of me as a singer, because I get those kinds of scripts all the time, like wanting me to play some very well-off, head-to-toe dressed in Dior, you know, kind of CEO of some trading company. I mean, come on. But that, to me, the audience is going to see that and go, oh, that's Fei Xiang. Why? I might as well just sing. But if I'm going to do a role, like in a film, I want it to be surprising. Not only for me, a challenge, but it also should be a surprise for the audience. So, you know, they should be looking at him going, wow, you know, I didn't expect that. I think in character and in motivation and in the things he does in the movie, he's a sociopath, frankly. And for an actor to play a sociopath, I think is one of the greatest challenges. It's very challenging. As actors, we want to draw on our human empathy. Like when I'm playing a role, I want to draw on the emotions that I would feel as a human being if I were in that situation. But sociopaths don't have those. They just know what they want. They're going to use whoever they have to use to get it. And this character, Yin Shou, is a #1 gold medal top class sociopath. Okay. And that's why he's so fascinating, frankly. We as human beings sometimes are fascinated by this type of person because they're so foreign, they're so removed from our usual human contact. And they usually have great charisma because they're so focused on what they want. There's a charisma in that. And because they have no qualms about doing anything to anyone, that's also so far removed from our human living experience that when we see somebody like that, we're actually fascinated by them. But for as an actor to play someone like that is quite challenging because you have to find your ways of feeling that person's lack of feeling and portray him realistically. Don't get me started. There are too many. Yeah. I'll give you top 5. In reverse order, we're going to do black pepper crab, 1,000-layer cake. I'll put durian at number 3. Okay. Number 2, sadly, which I can't eat very much of because it's fattening, laksa. And then number 1 is ice kacang. I just love it. I just love the taste. And I love that it reminds me of my childhood in Taiwan. When I grew up in Taipei, in Taiwan, they had shaved ice treats. So every time I have ice kacang, it reminds me of my childhood. I love it. This time I have not, because I only got here last night and I'm leaving on an airplane tomorrow. I do quite often pass through Singapore because I have friends here of many years and I like to visit with them. And I love Singapore so much. I just love not only how beautiful it is, and I love the people here because their values are so positive. I love that. I think positivity is so rare in this world now. And Singapore is one of the places where people have a natural sunshine in their spirit. They just want to be kind if possible. They want to find ways to solve problems if possible. It's rare, to find a place where people are harmonious and wanting to be happy rather than just complaining or finding all the things that they're unhappy about. I was semi-retired actually before Wu'ershan sent the script of Creation of the Gods to me. I was actually thinking, listen, I've had a great career. What else do I need? I'm fine. I'm just going to enjoy life. I have homes in London and in New York. So those are the 2 cities I live in, and have no problem, just watching opera, theater, movies. I have close friends I'll have dinners with, and sometimes now I'm actually making an effort to touch base with my old classmates and get together with them. I have 2 cats in my home in London who are very demanding. I just have a very quiet, boring life, but I just read books and, the time passes quite easily. So I was semi-retired until Wu'ershan contacted me. He said, I have a script I want to send you. And he sent over Creation of the Gods. And well, when I read the script, I thought, okay, it's too good. It's too good. I can't pass it up. I just can't. And I have to do this role. So I agreed to do it, even though it was quite a big commitment, including promotion, everything. We're talking 3-5 years. And I have to be honest, I'm 62 years old now. So when I was in my 20s and 30s, you can easily say yes to a project of a year, 3 years, 5 years. But at this age, you don't have that many 5 years to give away. You just don't. if it's going to get me off my sofa at home and working again, it has to be worth it. It has to be really worth it, you know. But I'm still willing if it's something good. Yeah. I'm just so happy that I can be in Singapore again and say hello to everybody and present my latest film, which is Creation of the Gods, Kingdom of Storms. It's in theaters now. It's the first film of a trilogy. It's a historical fantasy epic, and it is amazing to look at. It has a great story. The easiest way I can describe it is if you love Game of Thrones, you're going to love this.
我能帮你成为全天下的王。倾家丧国之物，岂可流于世间？